What up, YouTube? This is Strident, and I am back with another video for you. I'm probably late, but I think you all know about the Wonder Woman TV show that's in the works. And everyone who's listened to my videos knows I'm a DC fan. Here, as you see in this picture, this statue, awesome statue that's based off of Adam Hughes' artwork. You see what Wonder Woman is supposed to look like. Now, we all remember what Jim Lee did with the redesign, the updated redesign for Wonder Woman that just looks like Rogue, pretty much. um, anyway, now you can see the design for the TV series, and I like the TV series design a lot better than the redesign for DC Comics, because this at least looks somewhat close to what it's supposed to look like. But there's little things I don't get, and I don't know. I even had an issue with the actress they chose. I think her name is Adrienne Palicki. She's gorgeous, but she's not really what I picked for Wonder Woman. Now, the picture I have posted here it's a fan made design for what they thought she should look like, and to me this looks more like what I would envision an Amazonian princess slash warrior to look like. Here's my version. I think you can see where I'm going and where the other people went, the previous picture, and you can see what is lacking from the TV series version. I mean, I guess it fits in lieu with the story, but I don't know. Now, I put together a quick side-by-side comparison, and you can clearly see where the or the TV show costume is drawing its influences. It seems like the majority of the influence is coming from the redesign. And, the redesign is not going to be around in 50 years. They're going to go back to what we have loved. This is proven true with just about every major iconic hero that they tried to update for a new generation or some bullshit like that, You leave icons alone because icons do not change with the times. Personality maybe, but their ideals, their look, they're supposed to stand out. They're like relics, so to speak. But they never lose their appeal. The design can stand the test of time, literally. Anyway, there's a couple things I hate that they keep doing with her. If you notice, even in the Jim Lee redesign, she's got flat boots. Because if she's a real warrior, she's not going to be running around in dominatrix high heels. I've always hated that, and it seems like that's a staple of comics. Let's throw the chick, because she's a chick, in high heels and have her fighting and stuff. And I just think it's stupid. If she's as dope as she's supposed to be and as hardcore, she just wear boots and kick your ass that way. She's still gorgeous. It's just, she's fighting in boots. There's also the way her corset or bustier or whatever you want to call it fits. It looks almost identical in like shape and the way it feels to some of the original, but it reminds me the most of the redesign. I mean, if you put a jacket on top of that, you literally have the redesign with blue pants and some embellishments on the boots. When you look at the fan-made movie costume, it's like, I mean, you think of Amazonian princess or warrior princess, you think of Xena. I mean, I know I do. That suit screams Xena, and that's what she should scream. But as I will get to in a little bit, the plot kind of goes against that. But it kind of like boggles my mind that they didn't use any of the other armors. Like, here's her Amazonian armor. There's another variation of that Amazonian armor. And here's even Jim Lee's version of her battle armor, which is so simple that it would work. So it just boggles my mind that these designers, as much as they somehow seem to be paying attention to what she's looked like in the comics, and drawn from so many different sources, it kind of boggles my mind that they didn't 100% just take one of these simple designs straight out of the comics and turn it into a living costume. Now for the story. The pretty much the premise is that you have Diana Themyscira, no longer Diana Prince, as the head of a company called Themyscira Industries, which is pretty much just like Wayne Tech or Stark Industries. It's kind of like they've changed the core of the character. Instead of being a peace ambassador for the fictional, well, I mean, it's all fictional, but for the fantastical independent island colony of Themyscira, they've made her something else, a businesswoman. And that's clearly not the character, And I'm not trying to sound like a straight up dork. I mean, I know we're having a discussion about comics, but it's just like when you read a novel and then you see the movie, like the Bourne Identity and all of the Bourne, whatever, the whole Bourne franchise. You read the books and then you watch the movies, and then there's little things that you're like, why did you even feel the need to change that? So anyway, she's the head of Themyscira Industries. Pretty much she'll be doubling, trying to juggle her life as the head of this $1 million, I don't know, corporation, and, her part-time job as, a superhero. I was reading on Bleeding Cool. They explained that they watched or read, I'm sorry, a pilot script, and Wonder Woman they've pretty much done the complete opposite of what you do with an icon. They have completely dumbed her down to be a symbol of girl power without the hardcore edge that us guys have come to like about the character for the last, I don't know, since World War II? So now there's going to be all these girl power pop songs. There's going to be phrases like, you go girl. And let me see, they mention a whole bunch of songs that are going to be in this, show while she's kicking people's asses. Like Beyonce's All the Single Ladies. Already, like, this just hurts already. Wonders of You by Jeffrey McDonald. Gold Digger by Kanye West. I like the song, but come on, I don't want to see Wonder Woman fighting to that. Bad Romance by Lady Gaga. And the list goes on and on. It just hurts my feelings. It really does. I don't understand why Hollywood has this need to systematically destroy characters that we grew up reading. I mean, if you've watched Justice League Unlimited or any of the Justice League shows, she's by far one of the more hardcore characters on the League. So of the 7, she's the hardest to take down. And, the one without a direct weakness, you just got to be more powerful than her, or as powerful and more skilled, or something. But you can't just outright, put up a green stone to knock her out and be done with it. Why are they treating her with such, I don't know, they're treating her as such a simple idea. And it's not that simple. You can't just simplify it to, oh, she's a female, let's aim this at girls. We know girls read comics, yes. We know girls watch action movies, yes. But guys have been, she was created by a dude. Guys are the primary audience for comics. We read comics with female main characters and male main characters. We don't care. If they're interesting, they're interesting. Lots of guys read comics with Wonder Woman and collected Wonder Woman comics. I mean, most of us, it wasn't the sole comic. I mean, I collected JLA books, and she was always in there, so I got to learn of her from that. And then I went back
and looked at old books that were like specific story arcs that were important that had Wonder Woman in it, so I could see what it is that Bruce Timm and his team drew from when they were making her so hardcore in all those animated series. Now they're making a TV series, and it seems like it's made for, like, I don't know, the Dawson's Creek generation or something, or the 90210 generation. It's like, you got to think about this. She's not that kind of character. She's an icon. She can't change just because people are a little bit flighty when it comes to what they watch on television. Just because one of the top shows on television right now is freaking Jersey Shore, with a bunch of idiots that are making way too much money for doing nothing, that doesn't mean that she needs to follow that, uh, that's follow suit with them. She's supposed to be showing you what you could be, not what you should be, in comparison to, she's not trying to show you that you should be like all the other shit that's on TV. That's not the way it works. And apparently that's how it's going to work, and it sucks because this is going to make it fail. And this is what always happens, This isn't the 80s where you could get away with just throwing some stuff together and then eventually find your fan base and then fix it later. No, these kind of shows get canceled. Good shows get canceled like this. Jeremy Johns was talking about Fringe being moved to Friday night. That's like the suicide slot. Move it there, it's done. So, that's the plot. The costume, like it or hate it, I think to me it's better than the Jim Lee redesign. But I don't understand some of the choices. But, that's just me. Now, I'm going to go back and I'm going to focus again on the costume. Because this design, even just the color choices, is just so amateurish. I mean, as I'm looking at it now and as I'm talking to you, I'm looking at other, posts I've seen all over the place, and I found a whole bunch of, fixes to this design on the Bleeding Cool forums. First, we have this pic from Alex Wright. He pretty much just put the colors in the right places. Although I would change the boots altogether and just get rid of the gold metal pieces on there and all that stuff. The little piping for the stripe, I would just go for the pure white and red. He did a good job making it a little bit more, what you know. You know what I'm saying? When you look at this, you see one of them. He took the star and the goofy molding off of the corset or bustier or whatever you want to call it. He also fixed the tiara. It doesn't look so cheap. So props to Alex Wright. Anyway, next we have this triple threat from who's this? Andy Mangles from the Bleeding Cool forums. He gave you versions, different variations. I mean, one of them is almost the same exact color scheme, because this is all he did was change the colors. The middle one is exact same color scheme as the previous one you saw from Alex Wright. But I mean, as you can see, all of these look more hardcore and more official than the others, than the original. Props to Andy Mangles. Next, we got a design from CKW from Bleeding Cool forums. A recolor and a small tweak from CKW. Now, if you look closely on the belt, he made the star bigger. He also fixed the W on the belt. He took the star off of the bustier, or at least colored it gold. Then he changed the boot color, and he changed the gauntlet colors, and he didn't change them, but he added color. It's nice, but once again, as you can see, it was similar to the first one that I showed you. Everyone is saying, red, blue, red. Anyway, this next one is from C. Wallace, and I like this one. It's pretty muted. I usually don't like black costumes, when the character is supposed to be colorful, but somehow this fits because they're trying really hard to modernize an Amazon. She's actually kind of an old symbol, and that's the point. But if you're going to try to modernize her, I think these colors look right. Even the lips. I hate the Lady of the Night red lipstick that they put on her, because, you know, that's kind of unnecessary. She already looks good, you know? But yeah, these are just some examples of what could or should have been as far as colors. And who knows, we might still see it, because that first picture is just, you know, production still. So it doesn't mean that it's done. So yeah, I'm gonna tap out with the complaining and pointing out all this stuff. It's just I'm a little wary of what they might do with a character that's pretty near and dear to me and a lot of other DC fans, you know. Um, I see I see the problem that America is starting to have with comics, or the problem with modern envisioning with comics in film and, you know, other media. It's starting to really get out of hand, where they're trying to take the fantastic nature of comics away from it. You know, you want to make everything so realistic that it doesn't feel like a comic anymore. It feels like a cheap knockoff of the original thing. And if that's what you want to do, leave the shit alone. Make something else up. Don't put those names on it. But I realize that I'm a purist, and if this was pertaining to my designs and my characters, it'd be different, because I'm not $1 million company, you know. And if I was, I wouldn't become $1 billion company, because I don't want to forego the integrity of the designs and the integrity of some of these the original thoughts, just to make, you know, more disposable income. You know, for me, I want to make a couple million and be good. You know, if I can make more, then fine, but I'm not going to do it at the cost of selling out. So I'm a little you know, annoyed at that. You know, stop taking fantasy and trying to make it reality. Take us for a ride. You know what I mean? Let us escape in the fantasy world that these comics and the characters were supposed to present to us. You know, all that has to be real is the world that she's presented into. And it would be cool to see people bitching and moaning about the way she looks, considering that she looks like, you know, an Amazon princess, and not like a Project Runway supermodel in you know, in stripper tights and, you know, high heels. You know, sometimes I wish people would just get over their shit. You know, you didn't create these comic book characters, and you can't. You know, many of the fans cannot do this, yet they're the most vocal people, complaining and always having to be heard, you know. Now, you know, I'm going to leave you with my image of Wonder Woman. And, you know, to me, you think Xena, you'll see where I got my inspiration from. But, you know, I'm not saying mine is the best, you know, but I'm saying it's truer to what the original design was than many of these redesigns are. And I think if you're going to reintroduce this character, you need to reintroduce her true to the roots, and don't forget that, because, I mean, then what's the point, you know? So anyway, this is Strident, and I hope you dig what you've seen and heard. And if you really dig what you've seen and heard, subscribe, hit me up in the comment section, and I will talk to you later. Peace.